Okay, ladies, let's get the answers to Quiz 2, Part 2, the essay questions, the ones you had to answer in complete sentences. The first question was, using complete sentences, explain two similarities and two differences between Roger Williams and Thomas Hooker. Label the two similarities as A and B. Label the two differences as A and B. So you should have had similarity A, similarity B, difference A, difference B. Some people missed points because they did not label them as I asked in the directions. It also says each part of the answer is worth 5 points, so be sure to explain each similarity and difference. And so here was one set of answers, a similarity between the two. Roger Williams and Thomas Hooker were both ministers in the Massachusetts Bay Colony. That's a good similarity. Neither Williams nor Hooker liked the leadership influencing the lives of the colonists. That's another good similarity. There were other similarities, but your similarities had to be different from each other. You couldn't give me the same similarity twice. For instance, some said that they were both ministers, and then they went on to say in the second similarity that they both gave sermons. Well, that's what ministers do. You had to give me two different similarities, and you could choose from a bunch of different similarities. The differences. One set could be when Williams left, he settled in Providence, but Hooker left and settled in Hartford. I accepted that answer. There were some variations on that, but part of the thing that I was looking for was some detail, some explanation. And so the fact that Williams was in Providence and Hooker wound up in Hartford, those were places that they founded. That was important, part of the explanation. In terms of differences, Williams, Part B, Williams was forced out of the colony or expelled. Hooker left the Massachusetts Bay Colony on his own. I accepted that as a separate difference too. Again, you needed to have two separate differences. Let's look at question number 2. Question number 2, fully explain the misunderstanding between the Native Americans and the New England settlers. Be sure to explain what the Native Americans believed and what the settlers believed. The answer is worth 10 points, so be sure to explain your answer thoroughly. So what I was looking for, and most people got a 10 out of 10 on this answer, most of the disagreements between the two parties had to do with land ownership. That was the first part. To explain that, the misunderstanding was that the Indians didn't quite get the understanding of selling land. When they sold land to the settlers, they thought that they were agreeing to share it. Didn't quite get it. The settlers expected that when they bought land from the Indians, that the Indians would leave that land. So obviously this misunderstanding, it's a pretty significant misunderstanding, this led to bad feelings between the settlers and the Indians, and it eventually started an all-out war. We know, first off, there was the Pequot War, and then later on, King Philip's War. It was all over a misunderstanding in land ownership. And so that is it for the day, ladies. And we should have hit about 20 minutes, and so I will see you tomorrow. Thanks.